30 minutes of friends talk about everything that matters to women. Welcome to the lounge.
Ice rollers and different devices to kind of get your skin to look a certain way, Fawzia. How do you guys feel about it?
I don't trust it. Like, to be honest, I'm a person who, especially if we're talking about washing your face in the morning, whatever waters come with the temperature, I'll wash it.
Yeah.
I rinse it. What? It's hot? Yeah. Rinse it. If it's cold, I rinse it. So imagine you're talking about such kind of, let's say, never. And I remember once I tried buying it, and it broke when they were when I was paying for it.
It's not meant to be.
So I was like, it's not meant to be.
It's not meant to be.
It's a sign.
It's God telling you not to buy it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I'm more of like an earthy girl. So I like trying stuff. So like I will be trying ice cubes. My mom, she always told me like whenever you come from like the heat because the weather is really hot, just take ice cube and then rub it on your face.
Yeah.
And then it does like refresh your face a little bit. You will feel like there is a slight of tightness regarding your face, but you don't expect your face to be like from to. You know what I mean? So if your face is already like saggy and it's like falling apart and you're wrinkly, girl, you don't ever think that a piece of ice is gonna turn you into a full glow and like a tight face and all of that.
But it would be more often
it's like
a routine.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of rejuvenating your face like and everything, which is it helps, but to an extent. Like let's be realistic with the results.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are into it, and
it's
getting more trendy, and especially nowadays. I think a lot of people are making these kind of ice cubes, having with the ice itself, whether different kind of fruits or vegetables and so on. And I think
aloe vera is pretty good.
Yeah,
and people are using it. I don't believe in this, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's useful sometimes from time to time, especially when it reduces the puffiness under your eye and the wrinkles, the pores itself.
Makes
and
sense.
I think a lot of people that are into these kind of own vibes, like using these types of things that they will use.
I think it works to an extent. That's the thing. Like, let's not be all against it. Yeah, it's like it works to an extent, but the thing is, the expectations is pretty high because the results that you see online is ridiculous.
Right.
You know, the skin, like your jaw going from like it was whatever, and then it's like sharp.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's not do that. You know what I mean? So it's just being just realistic, but also these things do help, really. Just a little bit, at least.
I guess.
It's please don't look at me.
I'm not judging, but I think a lot of people have so much expectations when it comes to these devices. They think they don't need to see the doctor anymore. They don't need a facelift, for example. They don't need to lipo their double chin because, you know, there's a gua sha involved. And I think we need to be realistic. I agree with you. It could make like a tiny bit of change. Like, honestly, I would say it's a 20% change if you're lucky, because me and you were talking and we said it's probably like water retention in the face, for example. And I've seen that with my sister, honestly. She had a lot of water retention due to like medication she was taking, and she started gua shaing. So her face went kind of back to normal. But honestly, she's young. She doesn't have any loose skin. She doesn't have any fat at all. You know, so I don't expect to get rid of my fat with a gua sha. Like, that's not gonna happen. And I feel like when that day comes, like, plastic surgeons are gonna be crying in the corner somewhere. You know, they just lost their job.
Exactly. If it was that easy and it cost nothing, might as well.
Exactly.
But that is like the reason why already like beauty or like doctors already talked about this, that it doesn't really do much, but it's just there for like a daily use. And not even like daily use. Some people like actually had it's like it backfired on them, because like what you're talking about, the more you use it, it really messes up with your face structure somehow. So there are some people who actually went through it and their face was messed up completely. So it's just the way you're using it as well. But again, at the end of the day, you have to go to a doctor and consult whatever it is the issue.
Definitely. And honestly, I think it's another like skincare trend, to be honest, because I will talk about my mother's generation. Like 20 years ago, she would spend at least 100 KD on her moisturizer or serum. And 100 KD like 20 years ago is a lot of money. It's not like, you know, 100 KD cream today. Because that same 100 KD now sells for 350 or 400, close to 400 in this year and age. So I think she looks beautiful, but I also think it's her genetics. It's not the cream.
So true.
You know what I mean? Because we have that in the family. All her sisters were not using that cream, and they all basically have the same skin and same structure is still in their face. So they're very lucky genetically.
Well, people don't really realize that there are more factors towards like our skin, or like comparing our mother's generations to ours. Like back at the time, everything was natural. The food was clean. Life was super slow. They had time to relax, to breathe a little bit. And even if you talk about like natural masks that they used to do, it still helped out enough. But they really didn't need all of that. But now life is too fast. The food is not really as healthy. Everything is like changed and like modified.
It always reflects whatever you eat. It reflects on your skin itself.
And life is fast. We're always moving. We're always working. You're exhausted all the time.
We're
even when you
always
sleep,
stressed.
you're not even even when you sleep, you're not even sleeping properly.
No.
So that would reflect on the face. So do not expect your mom's generation and like that natural mask also would actually do something for you.
Yeah, like especially when we're talking about the kind of treatment where let's say it's more of a routine that you enjoy doing rather than something that you wait for an effect in a way, because a lot of people, to be honest, especially when it comes into night routines, they would really spend a lot of time in the mirror looking at their face and looking at how they're dealing with. So they will see them adding some cream, they like to do some massage or rubbing and stuff like that. But the thing is, when it comes into the face, it's more of the, let's say, terrifying thing to actually play with, because there's actually lots of nerves. And you don't want to let's say, do it and exceed in it, because you never know when you're going to hit a nerve. This is when it also comes into some kind of, let's say, ways where people start to find it really trendy, like especially when you're dealing with cold things on your face. Never shock your face with such temperature, especially if you're from outside, then you come back and then immediately start the treatment. No, you have to adjust the temperature of the let's say your room and your face. You leave it to cool a little bit and then try to add these cold treatments, because in the end, the face is so sensitive. You never know what could happen and when you could hit a nerve. So never shock. The shocking process.
And I think a lot of people nowadays would use different kind of things, whether we're talking about different moisturizers or different things. And I think having taking care of your skin, it would affect in a bad result at the end. So like I used to have like out of the box, one of the things, the eye cream, when it got trendy and started using eye cream. And then I noticed after that, I had an infection in my eye that I cannot use an eye cream because my skin is oily and sensitive. I'm not allowed to use that kind of eye creams forever under my eye. I don't need, even if I had that kind of dark circles, I'm not allowed to use that kind of cream. So it depends from a skin to another, and I think from one to another, what to use and what to not.
That's the thing. My mom used to always tell me, make sure you use cold water, use an ice cube and all of that thing. So I think I've mentioned like 100 times that I have eczema, dermatitis, and a lot of skin sensitivities.
Imagine using that.
No, I did. That's the problem.
The amount of dryness.
Oh, the amount of everything. I would have flare-ups and I didn't know why. So just
acne as well.
Exactly. Just like extreme heat would flare up my skin. So anything extreme flares up my skin. So same thing happened with the eyes. So I noticed I just need everything to be right in the middle. No gua sha-ing, no ice rolling, nothing like that. If anything, the best thing for people with skin like mine, if we want some tightness, if we want anything, clinics exist for a reason. There's a lot of gentle lasers we can use. Those are the things that basically work for me.
I'm so scared for that, honestly. I thought that I'm gonna be looking like this for the rest of my life.
Me too.
But reality hit, the older you get, then you'll find like a line, and then you find another line, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm just hoping, because my mom, she has really good genetics, she looks amazing for her age, and I'm like, let me just pray on it. And the thing is, you don't want to start late as well. So I don't know what to do when I'm
honestly, I always say
because you cannot start like what I've heard. What I've heard, that you're not supposed to start late, because the minute you start late, it's just gonna backfire. It's not gonna look as nice and natural.
Okay, so my mom has traumatized me. I'm gonna be completely honest. Since I was a child, like literally, I just remember being like 6 years old, throwing a tantrum, and my mom's like the chillest, coldest person you're ever gonna meet. Like nothing phases her, nothing makes her angry, no tantrum is gonna like ruin her day. And I'd be mid tantrum and she would look at me and be like, stop moving your face. No way. I swear to God. And I would get even angrier as a child, and that continued throughout my teenage years, where the tantrums even got worse. Let's be honest, I was an insane teenager. And still through everything should be like, don't move your forehead, don't move your forehead. And I realized I don't even have muscle memory in my forehead. Like I just don't move my forehead. And it's something I started doing recently. So in the past 2 years, and I don't have full movement. I just have movement here, and it's really weird.
Yeah.
And it's completely recent because I would never move my face, no matter if there's sun in my eyes.
How do you do that?
Frowning.
Yeah.
How much training did you get? Because I need to know.
Yeah.
I'm starting late as well, but what do you mean?
Exactly, because I never moved it in the first place. So I'll tell you more about my muscle issues and how I proceeded to take care of that after we take that quick break. So I was telling you about how my mom wouldn't let me move my face. So my muscles never actually learned how to frown. So you know, sometimes if the sun is in your eyes, or at least let's speak about my sister, as soon as there's a ray of sun, she's moving everything. Everything is all wrinkled up, you know. I don't have that, you know. I don't have this automatic human movement. And then when I was, I think 19 or 20, I used to see this amazing doctor in Australia. She's actually the #1 doctor in Asia Pacific. And she gave me the best advice. She was like, I know you're getting fillers to fix like your lips and whatever. How about you start with Botox? And at that age, I thought Botox is like for really old ladies.
Yeah.
You need to be like really wrinkled to use it. And then she's like, no, we're gonna like literally stop your aging process. So you're never gonna move your face ever.
Oh,
You
wow.
know? Exactly. So that's exactly what happened. I started getting muscle relaxants, and it was the best thing I ever did. It was like a glow. I don't have wrinkles. Life is good. I need my doctor again because I'm starting to like develop.
You go all the way to
muscle
Australia?
movement. I wish. Honestly, I've gotten the treatment here a few times, but I don't like it as much as I liked it in Australia because there it was like, you know, I was snatched. I was glowing. Here I would keep going back in 2 weeks, like my face still moves. You guys are scared, you know, and all the doctors are scared to add more. So yeah, and now I have muscle movement at 30.
Okay. Well, at least you have it now.
No, we're not happy.
It's something good.
We're not happy. We're trying
More
to
expressive.
prevent. We're trying to prevent.
But like, let me tell you about my story, because when you're talking about learning that in a very early process, I've never noticed that I don't actually have that kind of movement.
Right.
Unless I went to a doctor to do my Botox, and it was very funny because he was telling me to raise my eyebrows. The problem is I was trying my best and was doing this and that and trying.
Shrinking.
I couldn't.
No
and
movement.
you know what I told him? Let me just do the mascara look. And once I did the mascara, it immediately, like my eyebrows immediately raised up, because this is where I find that I have a problem nowadays with the lines. It's because when I start apply makeup, it doesn't happen. Like I don't see the lines unless I add makeup. And exactly in the mascara process, because in the mascara process, I immediately unconsciously raise my eyebrows. So the doctor thought I was making it all up, and then he realized how immediately I changed when I did the mascara, and he was like, do the mascara, apply mascara.
Keep it going.
I mean, it was very annoying. And once he was telling me, try to be angry, try to make them very tight and close. I'm a person, when I get really stressed and angry, it shows on my face, but never on my eyebrows. Because if you notice my eyebrows, you will start laughing. They shake.
Oh wow.
They shake like
She's like,
they shake. It's like I lose, like I can't. So when it comes into my forehead, the only matter that happens with me realizing the lines is because of makeup, the mascara.
Oh, wow. Now I feel like I'm just gonna try to get Hiba angry for any reason, just to see the eyebrow syndrome.
You'll notice, yeah. Which is really
very interesting,
annoying in a way, because in the end, this is something that you unconsciously do, but yet again, you would feel positive about it. And talking more about Botox, like this is the kind of method people used, especially like when I used to know more about it, they never, let's say, suggest and encourage people to do it at early age, thinking that when you're in your 30s, try to apply it.
And it's so true.
And nowadays, it's different. The younger you do it, the better it is.
Exactly.
So the process of it for it to last and to be effective within the upcoming years, will be more or less, but now, as they say, less damage. Like, okay, they're gonna move, but at least when you're in your, let's say, 40s, you look like you're mid-20s.
Yeah, it looks more natural than you doing it late.
Definitely, because the thing is, how wrinkles form is from constant movement. So constantly moving is etching in. It's like getting like a pen and kind of like rubbing something or a piece of wood, eventually you're gonna have like, you know, a dip in it. So that's how you get your wrinkles and all of that. So if you get Botox after the lines have already like settled in, itched in, okay, you're not gonna have any movement whatsoever, but the lines are still gonna be there. So if the lines show without movements, it's over for you.
That's the problem for me. I'm very expressive, and I want you to know that I'm angry. I want you to know that I'm sad. I want you to know I'm gonna laugh my heart out, and you're gonna see the lines.
I love that.
And I like the smiling lines.
I hate them.
I love them on people.
And I have them genetically, by the way. I hate them.
Why? They're my favorite.
I hate them too.
I hate them. And I have them genetically. It's nothing I could do to like stop them. I've had them ever since I was young, and I can't do. I inject them obviously, but I haven't in years. But that's the only thing I can do. But
for me, it's like there's a limit. I'll have wrinkles. So like there's a limit where I'm gonna be like, somebody help me please, somebody fix my face, because I cannot have that for the rest of my life.
Wow.
So yeah, my goal is to look snatched to at least 50.
You look snatched. That's the good thing.
No, I'm looking at my mom. I'm comparing myself to my mom. I'm like, let me see if I like what you look like right now. I'm gonna go with it. If I don't like it,
but come on, remember when we were talking about temperature and the sun and everything, it's different.
It's different.
So back in the days, the reason why your mom is this way is maybe because of that kind of effect, like when it comes into the sun, exposure and stuff, compared to us. Because let me tell you about this. You can see how very different as generations we do look, especially the ones that comes after us, the Gen Z generation. They look older than us.
Yeah, that is so true.
They look very mature. True. Like she's 18, but she looks like 25 or something. It depends on the lifestyle.
Also, like black don't crack, you know?
I know, I'm so jealous.
Really? So comparing to that, I think in the end, it always differs from generation to another. But within the process itself, what's happening, the sooner the better.
Definitely,
it's
definitely. Honestly, since you mentioned like the newer generation looking older, I'm sure you guys know this amazing makeup artist, and she has her own brand. Her daughter is really young.
How old we're talking?
I think she's in her early teens, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Right? And I just remember seeing her daughter as a normal child with the curly hair and everything, no makeup, thick brows that are still not done and everything. To one day, her taking a video with her daughter, and I thought this is one of her friends.
Oh no.
Like that old, that snatched, the full makeup and everything. And I know at that age, if I had 5% of that makeup on, it would be over for me.
Yeah, but it's also
I'd be grounded.
Yeah.
You know?
I started wearing mascara at the age of 17.
I remember having to rub off the eyeliner before getting
I wasn't allowed to wear an eyeliner. So I'm like, I went to uni and then I started wearing an eyeliner, and it was so bad because I didn't know how to do it. With mascara, I was 17 and my mom, she'd be like, where are you going? I swear to God.
No, my mom used to tell me apply.
Yeah, she's like, what's going on?
My mom used to tell me apply, and I used to be the child who cries because I don't like how I look with mascara. Like, especially when it comes into wedding, she'd be like, are you going with me that way? Just apply a mascara and then be like applying and then crying.
That's
all
so interesting. I'm not going. She had it good, but she didn't know.
I know. You know what, Hiba? I need a whole biography.
Yeah.
At this
point? It was 16, but really bad.
Really? You know what? My sister started wearing makeup really young. Like she started when she was 15.
Yeah.
And now she's all snatched up and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and like, you know what else? Like, I think she also follows like the whole like cold beauty.
And I think now
trends.
This kind of generation would follow like a lot of makeup artists and
TikTok
and YouTube and so on.
It's something easy for them, to be honest. Like, it's not very difficult.
So true. But I think it's the trend nowadays to look like that.
It is. It is. The thing is, if you go to any makeup store now, it's not us anymore.
Right.
It's the kids. And you know how I feel about kids. So I'm having to like,
you're like
push them out of my way, and I'm just like, you're finishing my product?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not able to find the product I want because you want to film a video while my career depends on the product.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So it's very interesting how things changed. If I was a teenager and I walked into a makeup store, not one sales assistant would talk to me or give me any attention. They would think I don't have the money to pay for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just different now, and it's interesting to see them do that.
It's good to hear that we actually had that kind of, let's say, impression when people used to see it, look at us and feel that we're really young comparing to them.
Yeah, because I feel like it's sad though. You know what I mean? With everyone starting like young with all of these trends and everything. I don't think they have a childhood no more.
No.
We were kids till like maybe 19, 20, and we would still think like we're children.
Right.
Honestly. But
now the life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's different nowadays, and it's like, it's a bit scary.
Yeah. So I think talking about that, especially talking about age and gap and everything, it's really quite interesting. But let's take this quick break and then we'll be back. So when it comes into applying all of these, let's say makeup, tools, injections, lots of things when it comes into beauty, talking about things that we actually would do and things that we won't ever do. Like to me, I'll never do the ice and cold beauty whatsoever. Never. Like I don't feel like it's there. Even when it comes into my body, I always listen to my body and skin. Like I feel there's something wrong. Like it's not gonna fix anything or do anything.
I would go to the easier things, like faster things, faster results. We need to be patient and have that kind of time, but I feel it's kind of a routine that you need to wait. It's more of a skincare more often to take care. It's not just like having the ice on your on your face and that's it. You need to have that kind of skincare process.
Yeah, and it's also you need to have an understanding of who you are as a person. You need to trust yourself enough for you to understand that this product doesn't work. This thing makes you uncomfortable. This thing is like, you know, whatever. Like listen to your body because you're the only one who would understand what's going on.
Yeah.
For me, I'm telling you, if I could be an island girl, I would have been because I'm the bare minimum type of person.
I love that.
Genuinely, the minute you tell me there are like 3-4 steps, I'm not doing it. I'm just, I swear, And like the minute I feel like the texture is heavy, I'm not doing it. If the minute you tell me someone is cutting through your face or something, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I just don't touch me type of person.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, just give me the basics and I'll do it. But there's anything extra that I need to like see someone on of that, I'm not going.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's just I'm just let me be in my space.
You just want to be horizontal.
Yeah, honestly.
I know that. You just want to sleep. We've established that,
honestly.
Which
Thank
I
you
love
for
that,
understanding.
honestly. I'm someone that goes to extremes, though.
Imagine like she's sleeping all the time, therefore no more lots of emotion expressive things, less wrinkles,
She's good.
less things.
No, but that's an escapism, you know? That's why I sleep, because I'm escaping reality.
Keep escaping. Honestly, you're not missing out on anything.
Anything that stops the movement, Rita will go for.
Seriously, I completely agree. Stop the process, escape to another world. You know, just
because the world is too much for me at this point.
Too much going on.
No.
You're not getting anything out of it, and then you're gonna have to go get treatments, and
No,
nobody has
please.
time or money for that.
I'll call you when I'm like 50.
Okay, amazing.
Okay.
I'll hook you up.
Or like 40. You know, I'll start you
whenever
on
you're
bed.
ready.
She'll be in bed.
Yeah.
She will be in bed. I feel like I'll have to get the doctor and the equipment.
That would be
machines.
amazing. You know what? If
We're
they
dealing
could,
with divas.
honestly, I would have been amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You would be that patient, to be completely honest.
You know what? Honestly, I'm the worst patient you could ever have.
I know. And if I were a doctor, you would be declined.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
Honestly.
No, even when I was like in anesthesia because I had a surgery, trust me, the minute they were like, okay, you're like, we're putting the anesthesia on you, like you're going through it. And I was just crying. I was like,
the drama.
Girl, the doctor was like, can you shut up for a second? Because I was like, why are you touching me? Why are you putting this on me? And whatever. And I was dramatic.
She's like an old lady, you know, that
all
old
the
lady
nurses
vibes,
on the floor knew. And I was crying towards each one of them. They would come and talk to me. And I made sure that I'm known at that time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, genuinely, when I left the hospital, they came and they said their goodbyes.
I would have judged you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, my friend just got a surgery, and I'm not a crybaby.
Yeah.
So even when I get a treatment done, you could go through my social media. You're going to find videos of me, like, using two phones to film while I have, like, a few injections in my face. I'm not a crybaby. Right? And it even got to the extent that a few times I had really bad situations. And the way doctors would find out that there's a problem would be by you being in pain. But since I don't really like feel pain or associate with that, the doctor wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Next thing, I'm on the floor.
Oh my God.
Literally. And they
I
would
think
find
you have
out.
high pain tolerance.
I have really high pain tolerance, to be completely honest. But I agree that we should like put limits at certain places. So I'm happy to go through something that's very painful. But also, I like to pick and choose my side effects. So whatever we do, even using something as simple as a cream would have side effects, right?
So true.
So same thing with treatments. I will do non-ablative lasers, even if I need to hide at home for 10 days, for example. I needed to do this laser for my nerves and capillary veins. And I had to literally stay at home for 10 days because I looked like a reptile. That was fine to me, you know, because I knew the side effects wouldn't actually damage my skin. But for example, I'm not going anywhere next to an ablative laser like fractional. I'm not going anywhere next to a chemical peel because these things, although they...
Oh yeah, I did as well.
Oh my God, I'm glad you guys
especially when you have that kind of oily skin and you have the open pores, I think this is the only treatment that you have to do from time to another in order to take care of your skin.
That's the thing. But it's risky. That's the thing.
Let me tell you,
because you know you could get discoloration forever.
Oh, I sure did. Let me tell you, it was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah.
And I thought I was doing a great job because I'm like, you know what? I have discoloration. Help me out with this.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I got you. The minute I got it, girl, it got worse.
Yeah.
My skin started getting darker, and she was like, oh, I just realized I forgot to. Yeah. She was like, if you're a darker skin, you have to be more aware of the chemical peel because it would do. Yeah, because you already have extra melanin.
And then if you're sensitive, it could burn. So. Okay, you know those pads that you use that kind of have the exfoliation thing, like acids, they have HAs and BHAs?
Yeah.
I used it a few times. I think it was 10 years ago. I still have discoloration where I used it. Yeah, so depending on your skin, and by the way, that's something over the counter. It's sold in a makeup store. It's not even that high of a strength. So when you're talking about getting a peel at a doctor's office, the strength is like 100 times plus, right? So with these things, you need to know what advantages you're getting out of it, what side effects you could be left with.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I kind of draw the line for me. It's not pain, it's more like, what am I going to deal with? What's the aftermath?
For me, I need to check the products as well, because if you're going with heavy chemicals, I'm not touching it. Because like, you know the trend where they're using glycol something acid as like a deodorant? Girl, it burnt me. And I was like, you know what, we're done. Honestly, anything that is like anything
that's gonna hurt.
Anything that is like high intensity regarding like the chemicals, I'm not touching it. I'd rather something that's very basic where I can work with, and it would take longer term than something that is for like shorter term, but it's really intense because my body cannot react. It reacts so quick. And
on the other hand, there's other people that could use retinols every single night. Retinoids even, which are even stronger than retinols. That is never going to be me, but you know, everyone is very different.
Right, Like, to be honest, I'm not really scared of needles or anything, but I'm very scared if someone would apply something on my face. Like Botox was something that I've done because I've realized that I need. But I remember I went for my pores situation because it really became very obvious. So I remember I went to a doctor and the doctor was like, you will take a method called mini Botox, like applying Botox, but it's a very, let's say, less when it comes into how strong it is, just to close the pores. And I was like, why would you apply mini Botox on my pores? And I was really terrified of it. So I didn't go to that doctor. And then I went to another who actually told me, do you want something fast and easy, or do you want something that stays longer? So I was like, of course I want something that stays longer. So he was like, you know what, these are the products. After he let's say asked me some questions and realized that I'm a person like you, I don't like the long process things, you know, like applying 3-4 creams. So instead of that, he just gave me 3 creams. One that I use it in the morning, one I use it in afternoon, and one I will use it only at night. And let me tell you, I only use the ones that I use in the morning and sometimes in the afternoon, and it really showed. A lot of people ask me like, your face is glowing, something is happening, and I was like, oh my god, it's just the cream. So I was like, that's really amazing. And one of the things I'm really scared of is when I go with my cousin. She's like you, she would tolerate the pain. You'll never know that it's something painful. So when I go with her and once I see her do something goes, you know, the sound,
it's over for you.
Wow. Since you're making that little sound, that means it's very painful.
That means pain is like 100 out of 10.
I'm not doing that. So but sometimes you get really mixed up with it because she's afraid of needles, but she's never afraid of anything being injected.
Exactly. I'm fine with my face being injected. My body, on the other hand, we don't do blood tests. We don't do any of that. And since we don't do blood tests, let's just wrap up this evening.